What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Friday, August 1st. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, we only had 3 games on the entire MLB slate. Now, we got off to a good start there with the Yankees, a 7-4 win behind a great bullpen day, but a mediocre start there from Stroman. Pepio got completely destroyed in this one, and while the bullpen tried to pick up the pieces, the offense couldn't come up with enough there for the race. So the Yankees take the win, get us on the board in that one. We were unfortunately on the Reds at -160 as our massive lock of the day. One of the most insane games of this entire MLB season. The Reds somehow end up losing 12-11 in 10 innings despite being the home team. A combined 16 runs between the two teams there in the 8th inning. Just absolute insanity there, and we end up being on the wrong side of that one. So pretty annoying. Like I said, it was only a 3-game slate. We still got the Rangers to go as our dog of the day. We weren't in love with them, but they were the only underdog that we really liked out of those 3 games, and they're down 3-0 in the top of the 6th. So we'll see what they can do down the stretch. But the premium picks, guys, we'll talk about them in a minute, but they went just a little bit differently than mine. So definitely stay tuned. We're going to break those down, but we're also going to break down every single game on this MLB slate. So let's go ahead and hop right in right now and look at game 2 here between the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds. The Braves obviously fresh off that absolutely bonkers 12-11 win there yesterday. They're only 46-62 on the year, so don't have a ton left to play for. They're going to hand the ball here to Bryce Elder, who's 4-7 on the season, a 6.29 ERA. This young 26-year-old not having the season they had imagined for him is a big part of the reason this team has struggled this year. The last time he was on the mound, he got dismantled there by the Rangers, and he hasn't really been very good over any of his last 5 starts. So pretty concerning stuff there. We'll see what he can do against the Cincinnati Reds. Not a team that I believe he's faced this season, no. So we'll see if Bryce Elder can bounce back here a little bit, but the Reds' bats are clearly pretty hot. The Braves' bullpen obviously has been a big problem for this team over the course of the year. Maybe big is a little bit of an exaggeration, but recently it's definitely been a big problem, all the way up to a 4.28 bullpen ERA. That is not getting the job done at all. The offense, it's been great yesterday, but over the course of the year, it's been terrible. The game before that, they got shut out 1-0 in their last game of that series against the Royals. Not swinging the hottest bats coming into this series. They're 24th in the majors in runs scored and 21st in batting average. I don't see a lot of massive positives right now for these Atlanta Braves. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Reds, who still have plenty to play for. They're 57-33 on the year, very alive there in the wild card hunt out there in the National League. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Brady Singer, who's 8-8 on this season, a 4.60 ERA. His last start, he was great against the Rays. 7 1/3 innings, 3 hits, only 1 earned run given up, struck out 8 and walked 1. It was eventually a 2-1 win. We'll see what he looks like here against Atlanta. Over his last 5 starts, 4 of them have been solid. 1 of them was terrible. He got dismantled there. Who was that against? I think he got shelled by the Washington Nationals. Yeah, that was pretty weird. So we'll see what he does here against these Atlanta Braves. Has he faced the Braves this season? I don't believe that he... Oh, no, he did back in early May. He was middle of the road. Not great. Middle of the road for sure there. Now, the bullpen for the Reds, obviously neither bullpen looked good yesterday. We'll see what they come up with today, but that was a pretty brutal day for both bullpens. The Reds' bullpen's been decent this year. I'm not going to say it's been elite. Obviously, the offense, coming off a massive day, sucks to score double-digit runs and lose. They're currently, very active in the trade market. They're 11th in the majors in runs scored. They're 16th in batting average. We'll see what they can do here against Bryce Elder. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, the Braves are +105. The Reds are -125. We got a total of 9 in this game. The Braves are 19-36 on the road, 27-24-4 to the over on the road. The Reds are 32-24 at home, 34-17-5 to the under at home. They're actually an MLB best to the under at home, and I don't despise under, but after what we saw yesterday, I'm not going anywhere near the total. In this game, I'm going to be leaning pretty hard towards the Reds at -125. I like Singer on the mound a lot more than I like Bryce Elder. Next on the docket, we've got the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Orioles come into this game 50-59 on the year. They did just win 3 out of 4 there against Toronto. Pretty crazy stuff in that series. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Trevor Rogers, who's 4-1 on the year, a 1.49 ERA. This 27-year-old lefty has been lights out this season. He's coming off a 7-inning, 1-hit appearance there in an 18-0 win against the Rockies. It's the Rockies, so let's not overreact too much, but that is absolutely dealing. He's only made, 7? This is his 9th outing of the year, so yeah, We'll see what he can do out there. I'm expecting very good stuff from Trevor Rogers. The Orioles bullpen, on the other hand, I'm expecting to be bad. That's been the case for them all year long. The offense has seen an uptick lately. I mean, 8, 3, 16, 11, 5, and 18 over their last few games is great, but has not been the norm for this team. They're currently 14th in the majors in runs scored, 17th in batting average. Also, trading away Charlie Morton, I don't know if this is really a sign of this team, going for it this year necessarily. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Chicago Cubs, who come into this game 63-45 on the season. They're fresh off a 10-3 win there against the Brewers. They needed that win to salvage a single win in that series. They're currently only one game back of the now struggling Brewers, so they've got that to feel good about. They'll hand the ball in this game to young Cade Horton. This 23-year-old right-hander is 4-3 on the season, a 3.67 ERA. His last two starts have been lights out. Crazy good. Hasn't given up a run in his last two starts. Now, one of those was a loss against Boston. The other one was a win against the White Sox, but he was very, very good. And those, for the Cubs, not for him, not him personally, but those were very, very good outings. And 3 out of his last 4 starts have been fantastic. So we'll see what he can do here against the Orioles. Not, a team that you would be terrified of, but they've been swinging the bats a lot better. The Cubs bullpen has hit a few bumps in the road recently, up to a 3.86 bullpen ERA. The offense, though, 10 runs in the last game, 10, 3, 4, 5, and 6 over their last few is not the normal standard for a Cubs team that's currently first in the majors in runs scored and third in batting average. So we'll see if they've got a bounce back in them here. From a bad series. The Orioles are plus 125. The Cubs are minus 150. We've got a total of 7.5. Baltimore's 23-32 on the road, 35, 19, and 1 to the under on the road. That's actually an MLB best to the under on the road. The Cubs are 33-17 at home, 26, 21, and 3 to the over at home. I'll lean a little bit towards the over in this game just because it's a very small number, but I don't love the total here. I'm much more interested in taking the Orioles actually at a very solid plus 125. They've been playing better recently. The Cubs might have a little bit of a letdown. We'll see if that happens here with Cade Horton on the mound. Overall, guys, it's a little bit tough to tell what we're going to get from Cade Horton and the Cubs here, so this game pretty much a stay away spot for me. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB and UFC picks. NFL preseason just kicked off tonight, so NFL picks and college football picks are coming up right around the corner. So definitely get over there and check that out. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row and has had a great 2025 season so far. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted over there. You'll also be able to see and use our free bet size calculator, and that's where you can find our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the videos, as I'm not the premium MLB capper over there for Stump the Spread. We've got a monster with many, many more years of experience than me covering MLB. He uses some very sophisticated tools and algorithms to make his predictions. He takes a ton of data points into consideration on every single game, every single day. Weather, history against specific pitchers, specific history in specific ballparks, like all kinds of niche stuff that you wouldn't even think about. He has worked into his models every single day, and that really paid off big on a 3-game slate yesterday, guys. On the 31st, a 3-game slate, he managed to go 3-0. He hit the Braves. Somehow he was on the Atlanta Braves there as a 0.75 unit play, so a pretty nice payoff there on his sizable underdog. He had the Yankees as a 1-unit play. That one cashed as well, and he had a half a unit on the Rangers Mariners no-run first inning. That one came through also, so a nice, solid winning day, a 3-0 day there for our premium MLB members. So definitely get over there to StumpTheSpread.com. Check out all that premium stuff. It's a great value. It can pay for itself pretty quickly if things go the right way. And yeah, I think it's definitely worth your while to look into that. Also, I'm sure you'll see plenty of comments, recommending that down in the comment section because, coming off a 3-0 day, kind of hard to say anything bad about it. Also, you got to get over to StumpTheSpread.com to get on our free email newsletter list. There's great information in that email newsletter every single day covering all kinds of sports, but especially, there'll be at least one free MLB pick in there every single day, sometimes 2 picks. That could be a WNBA pick worked in there as well. There's been a very hot streak there on WNBA going recently, but really, guys, it's great information straight to your inbox every single day. If it's not making its way to your inbox, check your spam folder, but you just got to go over there, set up a free account using your name and your email address. That's it. You'll get one email every single day with lots of good information in it. So definitely check that out. Also, check out our YouTube channel membership. To become a YouTube channel member, you click the little join button right below the video. YouTube channel members get exclusive early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe more importantly, you guys get access to our members only giveaways here in 3 days. Here on the 4th, we're going to do another giveaway. There will be a big wheel on the screen. Every single YouTube channel member's name will be on that wheel, and if it lands on you, you're going to get a free Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to your inbox, as long as you let us know that you actually won the giveaway. So definitely get in there, check that out if you're interested. But guys, we got to hop back in. We have a full slate of games here to cover on a very, very busy day out there here on Friday. So let's hop right in. We're going to look at the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Tigers come into this game actually playing some of their better ball recently. They've won 4 in a row. They just swept the hapless Diamondbacks there. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Jack Flaherty, who's 6-10 on the season, a 4.51 ERA. So that all looks very, very good. With his last start, 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs allowed there against Toronto. They'll definitely take that. He's been a bit all over the place this season, but his last 5 starts have all been very, very reasonable. We'll see what he can do here against the Phillies. Not an easy team to face, but he hasn't faced them yet this season, so we will see how that goes. Now, the Tigers' bullpen has been excellent at some points this year, but not great here down the stretch. Currently sitting with, what is it at now? A 4.16 bullpen ERA. That doesn't fill me with tons of optimism, but the offense is killing it. 7, 12, 5, and 10 over their last few games. Seems like this team is back after it. They're 5th in the majors in runs scored. They're 15th in on-base percentage, but 7th in slugging percentage. This is a dangerous offense, don't get me wrong. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Phillies, who just lost 2 out of 3 at the White Sox. They're a half a game back now of the Mets in the NL East. This team is a mess. They're going to hand the ball here to Ranger Suarez, who's 8-4 on the year, a 2.59 ERA. His last start was not a mess, guys. He went into Yankee Stadium and 5 2/3 innings, gave up 1 earned run. He did give up 7 hits, but he struck out 8, and the Phillies won that game 9-4. He's been throwing the ball really well this season. He did struggle against the Angels the other night, but really not a lot of negatives for Ranger Suarez this season. And he hasn't even, been pitching this long this year. So we'll see how things go out there for Suarez. The Phillies bullpen continues to be a big issue. A 4.45 bullpen ERA seems to be getting worse, and the offense is slumping. They've been all over the place, but they're slumping right now. 3, 6, 2, 3, 9, 12, and 8 over their last few games. They're currently 9th in the majors in runs scored, 10th in slugging percentage, but this is not an offense that you can trust on a night-to-night basis. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Tigers are plus 128. The Phillies are minus 155. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Detroit's actually a pretty good road team. They're 28-25 on the road, 31-22 to the over on the road. That's an MLB best to the over playing away from home. The Phillies are 33-19 at home, 26-23-3 to the over at home. With these kind of trends, guys, despite 2 pretty decent starters on the mound, you could talk me into over 8. Also, both bullpens have sucked, so that helps this play as well. But better than that, I think I like the Tigers here at plus 128 with Flaherty on the mound. He's got good enough stuff to overpower some of these Phillies hitters. And while Suarez has been good, that Phillies bullpen has been terrible, and he hasn't been quite as dominant here lately. So definitely give me a look at the Tigers here as a potential dog of the day. Cruising right along, we've got the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Washington Nationals. The Brewers come into this game 64-44 on the season. Obviously, Churio, headed to the IL. Not a great look. They did win 2 out of 3 against the Cubs, so that's nice. They've still got a 1-game lead there over Chicago in that very competitive NL Central. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Jose Quintana, who's 7-4 on the year, a 3.50 ERA, coming off a pretty mediocre start there against the Marlins. 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. Only 2 of them were earned, but he did give up 2 home runs and has given up 2 home runs in each of his last 2 starts. So a little bit worried about how he's throwing the ball right now. The Brewers bullpen has shown drastic improvement over the course of the season, but still a 3.93 bullpen ERA doesn't fill me with tons of optimism. The offense, 3, 9, 8, 3, 4, and 1 over their last few games is not necessarily incredible. We'll see what they do here down the stretch. Over the course of the year, they're 8th in runs scored and 10th in batting average, but their slugging percentage numbers are very, very lackluster. So we'll see what they do here against the Nationals. Definitely not a great team. They're fresh off a 9-1 loss against the Astros. They're going to hand the ball here to Mitchell Parker, who's 7-10 this season, a 4.91 ERA. His last start, he was in a lot of trouble there against the Twins, but pitched out of most of it to give up only 2 runs on 8 hits over 5 2/3 innings. The Nationals did win that game 9-3, but over the course of the season, I don't know if we should really be super high here on Mitchell Parker. He's been fine, but the last time he faced the Brewers, he got obliterated back on July 11th in what was eventually an 8-3 loss. So a lot could fall on that Washington bullpen. It's been the worst bullpen in the majors this year. That's an issue. The offense not swinging the hottest bats right now. 1, 4, 2, 7, 9, and 0 over their last few games. They're 19th in runs scored. They're 20th in batting average. I'm not really going to overreact too much. Also, they're like trading guys away here, clearly being sellers at the trade deadline, so that's not usually good for team morale. So, looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Brewers are minus 155, the Nationals are plus 130. We've got a total of 9 out there. Milwaukee's 28-24 on the road, a pretty solid road team. They are 27-23-2 to the under on the road. Washington's 21-31 at home, 27-24-1 to the over at home. I'm not interested in the total here, guys, but I'm very interested in these Milwaukee Brewers. They need to win every single game they can possibly have a shot in. I think we see them lock in and take care of business here once again against a starter who has struggled aggressively against them. In terms of, like history for Jose Quintana here in this spot, he has not faced the Nationals this season. So definitely going to be riding with the Brewers in this one. Next on the docket, we've got the Kansas City Royals going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Royals come into this game 54-55 on the season. Just brought in Bailey Falter, so we'll see if that can help. They really need hitting, but they did just win 3 out of their last 4 games. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Michael Wacha, who's 4-9 on the season, a 3.53 ERA. His last 3 starts have been excellent. Very good against Cleveland, very good against Miami, and very good against the Mets. However, the Royals only managed to go 1-3 in that span. So we'll see what he can do here against the Toronto Blue Jays. Definitely not the easiest team to face, but he hasn't faced them yet this year. So maybe a fresh look will confuse them. The Royals bullpen's been excellent this year. At least that's something to rely on a little bit, but it struggled a bit down the stretch, and the offense continues to be not great. It's been a little bit better, 1, 9, 7, 4, and 4 over their last few games, but they're still 28th in the majors in runs scored and 19th in batting average. They're trying to bolster that batting lineup, guys. We'll see if it works out here as they go on the road to take on a Toronto team that's been slumping a little bit, losing 4 in a row before snapping that streak with a very close 9-8 win against the Orioles in Game 4 of that series. They're still 3.5 games up on the Yankees, so that's a positive. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Kevin Gausman, who's 7-7 on the year, a 3.82 ERA. His last couple starts have been amazing. His last time on the mound, 6 innings, 1 hit, 10 strikeouts, no runs allowed in a 6-1 win against Detroit. We'll see what he looks like here against the Royals, but I'm expecting Gausman to have a very good time out there, even though he hasn't faced Kansas City yet this season. I'm also expecting that Toronto bullpen to use this as a bit of a get-right spot after having some pretty significant troubles in that series against Baltimore. The offense, 9, 2, 4, 4, and 4 over their last few is not the norm for a team that's first in the majors in batting average, first in the majors in on-base percentage, and 7th in runs scored. We are going to see this team bounce back here in a big way. So, looking at the numbers, guys, the Royals are plus 130. The Blue Jays are minus 154. We've got a total of 8 out there. The Royals are 26-27 on the road, 29-23-1 to the under on the road. Toronto is 37-17 at home, 32-20-2 to the over at home. That's actually an MLB best to the over. I'm probably not going to be taking over 8 in this game, but I wouldn't fault anyone for doing that. I do think this is a good spot to be on the Blue Jays at minus 154. I think with Gausman on the mound, they're going to have a really good time, and I think this is kind of a get-right series in some ways here for the Toronto Blue Jays. Next on the docket, we've got the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Astros bounce back after that losing streak to win 2 out of 3 against the Nationals. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Hunter Brown, who's 9-5 on the year, a 2.54 ERA. He got back on track, guys. 5 innings, 4 hits, only a single run allowed there in a 5-1 loss against the Athletics, but he threw the ball really well, so it kind of gets him off the schneid there. Overall, the season has been amazing. Recently, he has had his struggles. We'll see what he looks like here against the Red Sox. Not a team he's faced this season. Houston should be pretty comfortable, though, in knowing that once he's out of this game, their bullpen is top 5 in the majors and has been basically all year long. The offense came alive their last 2 games there against Washington, scoring 9 and 7 runs respectively, so maybe they're out of their slump. They're currently 9th in the majors in runs scored. They are 14th in the majors in batting average, in slugging percentage. Carlos Correa coming back, that's going to be a pretty nice deal there for the Astros, I believe. So we'll see what they do here on the road against these Red Sox, who have won 4 out of their last 5 games. They're 59-51 on the year. They're only 5 games back of Toronto in that pretty competitive AL East. We don't have a confirmed starter for Boston right now, so that's a bit annoying. If it ends up being a bullpen start, you shouldn't be too worried there because their bullpen's been excellent. Top 2, top 3 in the majors here down the stretch. The offense has been good. 13-8, 4-4-4, and 2 over their last few. Definitely seems like they're swinging the bats a little bit better, and they just brought May in from the Dodgers, so that could help their pitching staff a little bit. They're 8th in the majors in on-base percentage and 4th in runs scored, so let's not be too worried about the Red Sox. Now, looking at the numbers, the Astros are minus 132. The Red Sox are plus 112 here at home. We've got a total of 8. Houston's 27-23 on the road, 24-21-5 to the under on the road. Boston is 34-21 at Fenway this year. They're 30 23-2 to the under at home. I'm not going to take under 8. That seems a little bit crazy, but I am going to be leaning a bit here towards the Red Sox. I haven't loved what I've seen from Hunter Brown recently. I know his last start was a bit better, but he has struggled here down the stretch, and these young pitchers do tend to tail off a little bit in the back part of the season occasionally. So we'll see if that's what's happening here. Obviously, we have to see a confirmed starter for Boston, but I'm definitely leaning towards the Red Sox here at home, getting plus money. Cruising through these games, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins going on the road to take on the Cleveland Guardians. The Twins are struggling. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. They're 51-57 on the year, and they are trading guys away. So things not looking up right now for Minnesota. They'll hand the ball here to Joe Ryan, who's 10-5 on the year, a 2.82 ERA. But his last start, he got obliterated there by Washington. Maybe he was scared of getting traded. Maybe that could still happen. We'll see what goes on there. Has he faced Cleveland this season? Yes, he faced Cleveland back in late May and was decent. 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, and a 6-5 win. So we'll see what Joe Ryan looks like this time. I'm a little bit worried about him coming off a bad start. The Twins' bullpen's been abysmal here down the stretch. A 4.42 bullpen ERA, kind of embarrassing. And the offense, 1-5-5-2-3-1 over their last few games. Yeah, they've been getting worse, and I'm not surprised that they're getting worse here. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they're 22nd in batting average. They are 22nd in runs scored. Both numbers I expect to get worse. So we'll see what they do here in Cleveland. The Guardians are a 500 team, so maybe they're still going to be trying here. We'll see. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Gavin Williams, who's 6-4 this season, a 3.51 ERA. His last start, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs at Kansas City. So not too bad there. And I would say over his last 5 starts, only 1 has been bad. So yeah, he's been putting his team in positions to win. We'll see what he can do here against the Twins. He faced them back in late May and was very, very good over 6 innings. So loving that journey right now for Gavin Williams. The bullpen situation for Cleveland isn't bad. A 3.68 bullpen ERA, definitely solid stuff there. We'll see what they do offensively. Yeah, it hasn't really seemed like this team is, I don't know. It's been a little bit weird. They've made some moves. We'll see what their real motive is. They are last in the majors in batting average and 26th in runs scored, so I worry about them scoring runs, but they did hit Joe Ryan well the last time they faced him. So looking at the numbers for this game, both teams being listed at -110 makes some sense. We've got a total of 7.5. Minnesota's 21-33 on the road, a terrible road team. They're 31-20-3 to the under on the road. Cleveland's 27-26 at home and a 500 over-under team at home. I'm not interested in the total here, guys, but I think this is an excellent spot to back the Cleveland Guardians at -110. I think Gavin Williams is going to do well against these Twins that probably have to feel like the wind is a bit taken out of their sails. I'm not necessarily expecting Joe Ryan to be amazing, and even if he is great over 5 or 6 innings, that leaves a good chunk of time for the Guardians to take advantage of that terrible Twins bullpen. Next up, we're looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Miami Marlins. Slam that thumbs up button, guys, if you enjoyed cashing the Yankees with us there yesterday. New York won 3 out of 4 against the Rays. They're currently still 3.5 games back there of Toronto. We'll see what they can do to make a dent in that number. They're going to hand the ball here to Carlos Rodon, who's 11-7 on the year, a 3.18 ERA. His last couple of starts have looked kind of mid. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs against Toronto. 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs against the Phillies. That's fine. He did walk 5 against Toronto, so maybe some control issues creeping in here. We'll see what he can do against the Marlins. Probably kind of weird team for him to face, if I'm being 100% honest. And he hasn't faced them yet this year. So we'll see what that looks like. The Yankees bullpen's been a whole disaster down the stretch. A 4.19 bullpen ERA, not great there. The offense seems like it's figuring things out, though, even without Judge. Stanton has been hitting the ball really, really well. 7, 5, 7, 2, and 4 runs over their last few games. Definitely not a disaster for a team that's 3rd in the majors in runs scored and 2nd in on-base percentage. But, it can be a little bit rough when you lose your best guy at the plate. So we'll see what they do here in Miami, taking on the Marlins, who just won 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. They're 52-55 on the year, not completely out of the mix. They're going to hand the ball here to Jansen Junk, who comes into this game fresh off a pretty decent, not dominant, but decent 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs there in a 7-4 win at Milwaukee. So we'll see what he can back that up with. He was on quite the heater before looking, more than mortal his last 2 times on the mound. We'll see what he looks like here against the Yankees. Obviously not the, easiest looking team to face. The bullpen for the Marlins has been getting better here down the stretch. A 3.95 bullpen ERA, though, still leaves plenty of room for improvement. And 2, 5, 1, 2, and 7 runs over their last few games isn't exactly killing it kind of stuff. They're 20th in the majors in runs scored, 9th in batting average, 19th in on-base percentage. we'll see. And, they're being a little bit active, mostly towards trading guys away here at the trade deadline. So looking at the numbers, the Yankees are minus 170. The Marlins are plus 143. We've got a total of 7.5. The Yankees are 26-27 on the road, 26-24-3 to the under on the road. The Marlins are 24-29 at home, 32-21 to the under at home. I'm not taking under 7.5 here, guys, but in terms of a side, I am going to shade towards the Marlins here at plus 143. I don't think I trust the Marlins offense enough to take them as our dog of the day, but I definitely think they're the side you want to be on in this one. Rapid fire through these games, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Giants come into this one riding a 6-game losing streak. They're now 1 game below 500. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Robbie Ray, who's 9-5 on the year, a 2.93 ERA. He got up to an insane start, and he's been decent here down the stretch, but yeah, when you're pitching for the Giants, it can get a little bit rough. Like his last time on the mound, 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs allowed in a game we eventually see the Giants lose 2-1. We'll see what he looks like here against the Mets again. That was, his last start was also against the Mets back on the 26th. I expect him to be pretty good. What kind of help is he going to get? We'll have to wait and see, guys. The Giants' bullpen has not been the problem this year. It's been one of the best in the majors. The offense, though, is a huge issue. 1-1, 5-3, 1-1 over their last few games, and kind of seems like they aren't exactly making deals that are going to make them better this year. So we'll see what happens. The offense is a huge problem here as they go on the road to take on the Mets, who just got swept by the Padres. So we'll see if they can bounce back from that, handing the ball to David Peterson, who's 7-4 this season, a 2.83 ERA. His last start, he had to pitch out of trouble a lot against the Giants, but 6 innings, 8 hits, 1 earned run allowed. Very good stuff in that game. So we'll see if he can, keep that same kind of train going here in an interesting matchup. Now the Mets bullpen has been pretty solid this year. Some bumps in the road recently, a 3.81 bullpen ERA, maybe a little bit concerning. The offense 0-1, 6, 5, 2, and 8 over their last few games. Not what you would imagine from an offense that's worth this much money. Now, picking up Cedric Mullins, I definitely think is a plus. We'll see how quickly he can make a difference for this team at the plate. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Giants are plus 118. The Mets are minus 140. Totals out there of 7.5 or 7. The Giants are 26-29 on the road, 28-23-4 to the over on the road. The Mets are 37-16 at home. That's an MLB best home mark. 26-24-3 to the under at home. First up in this game, I'm going to lean a little bit towards the Mets, but not a ton. I don't have a ton of love for the side in this game. I'll also maybe take under 7.5, but I think no run first inning is actually very appealing in this spot. Both these pitchers, in this same matchup, we didn't see any runs scored through the first 3 innings 5 days ago. I think we could see at least the first inning go scoreless in this one. Next up, we're looking at the Los Angeles Dodgers going on the road here to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Dodgers come into this game fresh off of winning 2 out of 3 there against the Reds. They're going to hand the ball here in game 1 of this series to Clayton Kershaw, who's 4-2 this year, a 3.62 ERA. His last start, not his best stuff. 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs there in Fenway, and a 4-2 loss. Start for that struggled a little bit against Milwaukee. Seems like the wheels might be coming off what was looking like it was going to be some sort of insane Cinderella comeback story there from Kershaw. He hasn't faced Tampa Bay this year, no major shock. We'll see what he looks like in this matchup. Now, the Dodgers bullpen, it's been a problem all year long. A 4.24 bullpen ERA is not great. The offense, 2, 5, 5, 3, 2, and 5 over their last few is not up to the normal standard the Dodgers set for themselves this year. They're second in runs scored, 4th in batting average, 3rd in on-base percentage, but they are not swinging the bats like that right now. So we'll see what they do here on the road against these Tampa Bay Rays, who have lost 7 out of their last 8. They're falling out of contention here. They're going to hand the ball to Shane Baz. He's 8-7 on the year, a 4.61 ERA. His last start was excellent. His start for that was terrible. The Rays are 0-5 in his last 5 starts, but it hasn't really been his fault. He's had some very good starts mixed in with the bad. And for a 26-year-old pitcher, that's going to happen sometimes. So we'll see what he can do. The Rays bullpen's been decent this year, but not as airtight down the stretch. A 3.84 bullpen ERA right now. The offense kind of falling apart. 4-4, 5, 4, 1, and 2 over their last several games. They're 10th in the majors in runs scored. They're 5th in batting average. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of amazing stuff to say about what's going on right now for these Tampa Bay Rays. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Dodgers are minus 145. The Rays are plus 120. We've got a total of 9 in this game. The Dodgers are 26-25 on the road, 29-21-1 to the under on the road. Tampa Bay is 31-28 at home, 32-24-3 to the under at home. I actually think under 9 is my favorite play on this game. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense unless one of these guys completely implodes, which isn't impossible like we've just seen, but I think under under is a good play. If you're begging me for a side, since I think it's going to be a low-scoring close game, that makes me want to lean slightly towards the underdog there, Rays at plus 120, but my main lean is going to be that under. Next on the slate, we're looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Pirates come to this game fresh off of a very, very good series there at the Giants. They've actually won 5 straight games and 8 out of their last 9. Crazy work. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Andrew Heaney, who's 5-9 on the season, a 4.79 ERA. His last start, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed against the Arizona Diamondbacks in a 2-0 win. A nice bounce back after getting shelled there by the White Sox. Heaney's been a bit all over the place this season, or at least recently he has. We'll see what he can do against the Rockies. Obviously not the scariest team to face. The Pirates' bullpen's been better down the stretch, a 3.70 bullpen ERA. Not going to complain about that. And the offense is finding a way to put up some runs. 2, 3, 6, 6, 2, and 0 over their last few. Doesn't look amazing, but for a team that's last in the majors in runs scored and 28th in batting average, that's actually hitting the ball pretty well. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Rockies, who are 28 and 80 on the year. Historically bad. They're going to hand the ball here to Antonio Senzatella, who's 4-14 this season, a 6.68 ERA. His last time on the mound was the beginning of an 18-0 blowout loss there against the Baltimore Orioles. He's given up at least 3 earned runs in each of his last 5 starts. We'll see what he looks like here against the Pirates. Not a team that he's faced this season, but he's had a pretty bad time against everyone that he's faced. So we'll see how things go here. Obviously, the Rockies' bullpen's atrocious, one of the worst 2 or 3 bullpens in the majors, and the offense, not much better, guys. They're coming off a 5-0 shutout loss. They're 29th in runs scored. They are 30th on on-base percentage. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Pirates are minus 150. The Rockies are plus 123. We've got a total of 11.5. The Pirates are 16-37 on the road, 33-18-2 to the under on the road. Colorado is 14-38 at home, an MLB worst mark at home, I'll add. They're 28-22-2 to the under at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game too much. I mean, I would lean towards under 11.5, but it's at Coors Field, so let's not get too carried away. In terms of the side, I'll definitely take the Pirates, but at minus 150 with Heaney on the mound for a team that's been so bad on the road, I can't really get on board. Next up, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Angels. Now, the White Sox come into this game fresh off winning 2 out of 3 against the Phillies. At 40-69 on the season, they're not headed anywhere important, but they are playing with some pride. Unfortunately, we don't have a starter listed for this game, so we'll see who actually ends up on the mound here for the White Sox. It's definitely up in the air right now. If it ends up being a bullpen start, which I guess is not totally impossible, the White Sox bullpen's been fairly capable down the stretch. A 3.88 bullpen ERA, while not great, is not the bottom of the barrel where they were a season ago. So got to give them a little bit of credit for improving there. The offense has been hitting the ball okay. 9, 3, 6, 4, 1, 12, and 11 over their last several games. They are 27th in the majors in runs scored and 29th in batting average. They're also 29th in slugging percentage, but there are a lot of guys auditioning to get traded off of this White Sox situation. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Angels, who are 53-56 on the year. Once again, a team that definitely has overachieved, held up against preseason expectations. They're hitting the ball here to Tyler Anderson, someone who's underachieved based on what he did last year. He's 2-6 this season, a 4.41 ERA. His last start, though, pretty decent. 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, and 2 earned runs against the Mariners. Now, we did see the Angels eventually lose that game 7-2, and they are 2-3 over his last 5 starts. So, yeah, not loving what we've seen this season from Tyler Anderson. We'll see what he can do against the White Sox, but I'm not expecting miracles from him or the Angels bullpen, which has been terrible this year. The offense, maybe it's been a little bit better. I mean, 3, 8, 6, 4, 2, 3, and 2. Not swinging the hottest bats right now. They're currently 16th in the majors in runs scored and 24th in on-base percentage. So looking at the numbers, guys, the White Sox are plus 114. The Angels are minus 134. A total of 9.5 in this game. The White Sox are only 16-37 on the road, 32-19-2 to the under on the road. The Angels are 28-26 at home, 30-22-2 to the over at home. Unfortunately, guys, can't give you a real lean on this game until you get a confirmed starter there for the White Sox. Rounding into the home stretch, we're looking at the St. Louis Cardinals going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. These two teams just played a very spicy 4-game series in St. Louis, 4 days ago or something like that? And yeah, we had benches clearing multiple times, tons of hit by pitches, all kinds of crazy stuff. The Cardinals just lost 2 out of 3 against the Marlins, getting shut out in the last 2 games of that series. They're 500 on the year. They're going to hand the ball here to Matthew Liberatore, who's 6-8 this season, a 4.04 ERA. His last start, 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, only one of which was earned in a 3-1 loss there against the Padres. So we'll see what he does against them this time. Not somebody who's thrown the ball great down the stretch this year. These young pitchers tend to fade a little bit down the stretch. Now, the Cardinals' bullpen's been very reliable, top 5, top 6 in the majors at an ERA of right around 3.50. The offense has disappeared. Getting shut out in their last 2 games is a bad look. They're 13th in runs scored. They're 19th in slugging percentage. Gone is that hot-hitting Cardinals team of the beginning of the season. So we'll see what goes on here with the Cardinals. I'm not expecting miracles as they head to San Diego to take on the Padres, who have won 5 in a row. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Nick Pivetta, who's 10-3 this year, a 2.81 ERA. His last start was against the Cardinals, 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of which were earned in a 3-0 loss. I find it unlikely that we'll see a repeat of his team losing here, but we'll see. The bullpen for the Padres, best in the majors, no question marks there. The offense killing it 5, 7, 7, and 9 over their last few. Guys, looking at the numbers here, the Cardinals are plus 135. The Padres are minus 160. We've got a total of 7.5. The Cardinals are 23-31 on the road, 26, 25, and 3 to the over on the road. The Padres are 34-18 at home, one of the best home teams in the majors, 30, 20, and 2 to the under at home. I love the San Diego Padres here at minus 160, guys. This is very likely to be our lock of the day. I think Pivetta is going to have a great start. I think the bullpen's going to back him up, and I think the Padres bats are going to get there to Liberatore pretty aggressively. So definitely give me the Padres at home in this one. Last but not least, guys, we've got the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. Now, it looks like the Rangers are definitely going to let us down there as our dog of the day yesterday. They're 57, looks like it's going to be 53 on the year, handing the ball to Jack Leiter, who's 7-6 this season, a 4.09 ERA, but this young 25-year-old is coming off a great start against the Braves and a very good start against the Athletics. So, seems like he's righted the ship a little bit here. We'll see what he can do against the Mariners, but I'm expecting him to keep throwing the ball pretty well, and he had a great start against the Mariners back at the end of June. So I'm expecting very good stuff from Jack Leiter in this game. The Rangers' bullpen's obviously been excellent this year, a top 4, top 5 bullpen, and the offense, obviously while they're getting shut out in their current game, isn't a great look, but we'll see. We'll see what they can do here. I'm expecting, the addition of Merrill Kelly to definitely help. Not going to help the bats, but it'll help the rotation. And, over the course of the year, this team has been pretty bad at the plate, don't get me wrong, but 21st in runs scored and 26th in batting average is not absolute bottom of the barrel. So we'll see what they can come up with here against the Mariners, who look like they're going to win their current game and get this series off to a good start. They're hitting the ball to Logan Gilbert, who's 3-4 this season, a 3.36 ERA. Now, coming off of injury to put up those kind of numbers is respectable, but his last time on the mound didn't look great, struggled a bit against the Angels in what was eventually a 4-1 loss. We'll see what he looks like here against the Rangers. He faced them back at the end of June and got knocked around pretty aggressively. And, that was, he'd only been back that was his 3rd start back. So we'll see what he looks like here. I'm not expecting miracles necessarily from Logan Gilbert this season in general. The Mariners' bullpen's been kind of middle of the road. A 3.71 bullpen ERA isn't among the elites. And the offense been very all over the place, guys. We've seen very high highs but very low lows. They're currently 12th in runs scored, 18th in batting average, and 12th in on-base percentage. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Rangers are plus 145 with Jack Leiter on the mound. The Mariners are minus 170. We've got a total of 7.5 here. The Rangers are not a very good road team, guys. They're 23-32 on the road, a 500 over-under team on the road. The Mariners are 28-24 at home, so not a very good home team, 25-23-4 to the over at home. I'm going to be leaning towards the Rangers here again at plus 145. It's just way too big of a number. I know Logan Gilbert's good, but the Rangers have shown they can get to him this year, and I think they will. Jack Leiter's got some pretty decent history against the Mariners, so I think this is a pretty good spot once again to look at those Texas Rangers. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have about today's slate. I appreciate you all watching. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over to StumpTheSpread.com, getting on that free email list. It's very, very easy, and it's great information straight to your inbox every single day. And check out those red hot premium picks. Bro just went 3-0 there yesterday, and now he's got a full slate to work with today. So definitely worth checking that out. Guys, we'll be right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.